All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual competing at Bellator 287 in the co-headliner, which goes down October the 29th. We have Charlie Ward and Fabian Edwards getting out there and testing skills, and happy to be welcoming Fabian onto the show. How's your day going so far, man?
It's been good, we had a tough Monday morning wrestling, and after I finish all these interviews, I've got another session. So yeah, it's been a good Monday.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you focusing on in that later session? Like, what are you kind of getting into there?
So I got strength and conditioning. So yeah, I got about 2 more of these sessions left. And then camp can be finished. But yeah, strength and conditioning. I'm in with my coach January work. So yeah, be good.
And I'm just wondering how you're feeling heading into this fight, just in the sense of, I feel like you would probably have the biggest sense of like momentum leading into a fight, just knocking out a former UFC champion in Lyoto Machida, first round finish and all, and quite the post-fight scenes there. It was cool to see the brotherly enthusiasm and all. So like, can you talk about that night and just what that last fight meant to you overall?
No, it meant a lot. It meant a lot because obviously suffering 2 losses and coming back and doing what I've done, yeah, it just meant a lot to me. So to have my brother there, obviously he's always in my corner, but to have him there and for me to be in his corner when he won his title, yeah, it's been a solid year for the Edwards brothers.
Yeah, and what was that moment like, just seeing your brother kind of actualize, all of the potential and just the road that he had leading into it and everything, just jumping through so many hoops and stuff like that? I imagine, seeing him in that kind of position and being his brother, you were just on cloud 9.
Right, on cloud 9. It's crazy because every time I talk about it, it's like I relive that moment. You know what I mean? It's a crazy, crazy moment. So, yeah, it was cloud 9 definitely.
Yeah, I love to, hear that for sure and everything like that. And seems like you're at least getting to be a touch more active this year, which I would think you would like, just this being the second fight of the, calendar year and everything like that. So are you liking getting to, be a touch more active? Would you like to be even more active or?
Yeah, I'm an active fighter, I asked for 3 to even 4 fights this year, so I got 2, which obviously I'm grateful for, but like, I'm hoping after this fight next year, I can get about 3 to 4 fights in because we're not in this game for a long time, so I'm trying to make my mark and bounce.
Yeah, and it seems like you've had a strong connection with Bellator for a while, just like debuting with them as a pro, and then you had the 4-fight run with Bama, and then, returning to fight for Bellator since then. Like, would it be, especially important to capture a title with them just because you seem to have a lot of, like, localized connectivity to them?
Yeah, of course. When I got into the division and I signed with Bellator, I just had one thing on my mind, you know what I mean? And that was to capture that world title. So, like, until I've achieved that, I ain't looking anywhere else,
Yeah, and just this upcoming opponent, just curious to, get some specific thoughts. Like, what do you think Charlie Ward brings to the table in terms of, like, stylistic proclivities? Like, what does he, I guess, do really well that you've observed from maybe some tape study you've done leading into this?
I just think he's a tough guy, you know what I mean? And I think he's a tough guy. I think he will try to make the fight entertaining, and he's a game opponent, but I just believe you need a bit more than that to beat me, So, we watched him, we studied him, and I strongly believe that we've got the game plan to stop him,
Yeah, and I would think you'd be especially excited to run it just because it was initially scheduled for May, and I would think maybe a bit of game planning was done then, so cool that it could keep together so you could use whatever was being worked on, I'd think.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we were scheduled to fight beforehand, you know what I mean, and Charlie pulled out, so like I've had my eye on him, so I've seen him, we've really worked through it, so this ain't nothing new to us, we were in camp for him before, so we just kind of built on that camp.
And I'm sort of curious, like, it seems like per some source material I'm reading that perhaps like a win in this next fight would vault you towards like a championship opportunity. Is that something that's been expressly communicated to you, that this is a title eliminator?
I've been I've been told either this fight or the next fight, and I get my title shot. So um, he strongly, I strongly believe I go in there and I put on a performance that I know I can put on. I believe I'll be fighting for that world title early next year. So yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you had an Instagram post circa August, I think, where you said something to the effect of I'll be champion by this time next year. So just based on what you said there, very much would trend in that direction, even a few months prior, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not just saying it because it sounds good. I'm saying it because I just know that's the route I'm on. So I just need to go in there, achieve this, get this win under my belt, and I strongly believe with a finish or even just a win, I believe Bellator will be putting me next in line because you also deserve that.
Yeah. I mean, it would make a great deal of sense, especially if you have a similar victory to the Machida one and everything. But I guess I'm curious too about there being a bit of a taking a trip kind of component, just with this card being in Milan and everything. Do you enjoy the traveling component of some of these fights? Are you excited to be out in Italy for that one?
Yeah, I am. I'm booked as well to stay back for a little 2 days. So I can do a little shopping, get some stuff for my kids, and yeah, I like fighting abroad. It's good to experience it.
Yeah, for sure. And you're just gonna get some keepsakes for the kids, some touristy kind of things and stuff like that. I guess I'm curious, are they at an age where they kind of understand what you're doing? Do they know what you do as a career, or are they kind of too young to understand that as of this point?
They kind of know, but they're still to the full, so they know what I do, but I don't think it's fully sunk in yet, But they do know, obviously, I go to gym, I train. They watch me when I fight, especially when it's on the UK time. They tend to go to bed early and wake up late, and they get a chance to watch me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would think they'd be getting pretty excited to see that. Just seeing Dad going out on TV and doing his thing, I would think that would get quite the raucous reaction, I would imagine.
Yeah, crazy. It's crazy reaction because obviously they still don't. They understand what I do, but they don't really understand it. But they do get excited, especially when I fight and they watch me on telly, and I see little clips of them. It's good to see.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking before about Leon and everything, and I mean, seems like a lot of great work had there. But who are some of the other people that you would really credit as to being key training partners leading into this particular fight?
For this fight, I feel like we're training partner Michael Eunice, Natty Frederick. He was once KW champion. O'Meal Brown. Just those guys. They got good forward pressure, good style. So I've been I've chose good training partner to replicate Charlie, and I feel like how training's gone, I really do see myself putting on a great performance.
Yeah, have you been working with people that have similar body types or stylistic tells to your opponent, or more just speaking to the quality of guys you're working with? You feel adaptable and ready for anything?
Yeah, I feel like the quality of the guys, but also similar styles. So I got some of the guys. Charlie's just strong, right? He's big, he's strong, and you know what Charlie's gonna do. So I've got guys in there giving me that same work, being tough, keeping the pressure on, and being comfortable whilst you're under pressure, and I feel like I've clocked that. So it'd be good to go in there and show everyone what I've been going through, what I've been working through.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like you're looking to head over to Jamaica after this fight here. Are you heading out there with Leon there? Because I was seeing a post you had a bit ago talking about from Kingston, Waltham Road to competing at the highest level. Are you heading out to Kingston for a little bit there? Is that the plan post-fight?
That is the plan. I think the UFC mentioned something to Leon about him going over in November, so I might be going over with him, depends on what he's doing, but regardless, I'm going over there to drink some rum. I'm going over there to have some rum with my family and just enjoy a little bit off time,
Oh yeah, man, can't get better than that. Jamaica, such a gorgeous place. Definitely somewhere I gotta get back to for sure. But yeah, you've been really great with your time, man. Always fun getting to, talk to such high level fighters before big fights like this. And I do appreciate you making time, but want to be mindful of your busy schedule as well, man. So to that point, is there anything you might want to add, like as a parting thought, as we're kind of wrapping up here, Fabian?
I just feel like if you're ever listening, just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I do really believe I'm putting on a great performance. So if you're ever watching, I hope you're ready and I hope you enjoy the show that I'm about to put on.
Yeah, for sure. I think if your prior track record is any indication for what we can expect from this fight, should be a barn burner. And yeah, definitely excited for October 29th, seeing you fight Charlie Ward at Bellator 287. And to reiterate, thanks so much for making time and coming on the show, man. You have a good rest of your day, and looking forward to checking out the fight when it goes down too.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me. Yeah?